Huge reveal about Palantir's Titan contract. We are deeper into the testing phase now of their $178 million contract, but obviously that's still just the tip of the iceberg, with this only being the beginning of trying to bag a much larger order down the line that could potentially be worth billions. But first, here's what's reported. Palantir announced that they have delivered their first two Tactical Intelligence Targeting Access Node systems, or Titan, to the US Army. For those keeping up, it's been a minute since they've officially won the latest phase of where they previously had to beat out RTX on their competing bids, to where now this current one, they're solely alongside their partners, developing 10 next-gen AI-defined ground systems. They're basically competing against themselves now to prove that they will produce a vehicle that the Army actually wants at scale. This is a year after the official win of this phase, and Palantir notes that the first phase is completed on time and on budget, which is also a significant milestone for the Army's modernization priorities. And as a refresher too, Titan is to help bring the Army up to date with modern times and technology to strengthen the connection between data collecting sensors and the weapons and decision makers on the ground to improve their accuracy and speed of long-range targeting capabilities. But Palantir did decline to confirm though when its next delivery is scheduled, but they do note at least generally they expect to finish the phase of 10 prototypes by 2026. After that point, which the Army will decide whether to get this into full production. With official estimatings too that this could be between 100 to 150 units, but I'm assuming that's just a guess. And a quick sidebar too, you may see folks pulling out this potential number of $2.6 billion on the deal if things go all the way. But remember, that's just a guesstimate on $178 million divided by the 10 test units, extrapolated to 150. Obviously, in all reality, that makes no sense to pay the same for the development vehicles as the scaled up production ones, especially when buying in bulk like this, but just making you aware some folks might be using that number and where it comes from. So no guarantees, of course, and I personally highly doubt that number, at least at a per unit cost. Better to wait and see. Now, of the 10 prototypes, 5 will be advanced units, with the other 5 being basic. Like any project, there's a give and take, and with unlimited resources, who wouldn't want the full capabilities on everything? But we live in reality. But deployment among different environments and priorities, having that flexibility without dumping too many resources into all advanced variants would be helpful with these basic ones. And the big difference too appears to be that space link, where the basic one will only have access to some of the space sensors. But as of this delivery, Palantir has fulfilled one of each variant for the first 2 units, so a basic and an advanced. And make note, this is alongside their partners, especially on the hardware side, considering that Palantir is the prime, but is mainly prioritized on software, I'd assume. But most importantly, these units take into account a wide range of soldier feedback, meaning they are building this for those who will actually be using it, and honestly that's the best chance of success in my opinion, although there's always that appeal to leadership and fancy bells and whistles, at least at the top, if you can back it up. So if you build it right and truly get the support of the ground floor users, it only strengthens their chances in my opinion to get a larger contract. But this is huge news regardless. Obviously, these things take time, and it's good that they've gotten started on each variant, and no doubt feedback will also play a role into the remaining 8 that need to be delivered. The name of the game is getting to that big production size order, which will come to be determined after these variants have finished and the Army can determine if they want to do so. Now, of course, everyone is thinking about budget cuts with the new administration, and even amongst the armed forces not being fully immune to this. But continued work here and updates shows, in my opinion at least, that Palantir's management is relaying basically that this program is still a go and we aren't being cut yet. Obviously, over the long term, my own perspective is all we can do is wait and see. Anything could just happen. Logic from the top doesn't necessarily play a role in folks' decisions on either side of the aisle to move forward or cut programs. And we've already seen that honoring deals from the previous administration when a new one comes in is not a guarantee. So I'm just being pragmatic here. My opinion is that investing to modernize will in the long run provide better results, even if there is an upfront cost with the purpose to retire archaic systems, while also improving the effectiveness and safety of the US military. But that's just one guy's thoughts on the internet. But let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.